Yes guys, we are of course back with another video. First things first, we have a Discord server, so if you want to join, come and have a chat. The link is down below in the description. There's already some great people there, so yeah, hop in and we can have a conversation about things. So this video is going to be a little shorter and probably a little bit boring. Now, it's Eurovision week, and if you don't know what Eurovision is, it's a fantastic contest with 40 countries from Europe singing. It's like X Factor for countries, and yeah, it's that. So I'm a little bit busy this week, so I thought I'd do maybe a little bit of, should we say, story time. And by story time, I mean I'm going to explain something that I should have explained a long time ago, and that is 3 guys, 1 hammer. I'm basically going to go through what happens in this video, and basically the transcript of what these guys say. Now I will be explaining the full story ahead of time. Maybe in a week or so I'll actually release a little bit of background on this video itself. But for today guys, this shorter video, I'm just going to explain what happens in the video for people who haven't seen it, and also what these 2 Ukrainian men are saying to each other within the recording. So when you think of popular or famous Gore videos, what are the first things that come to mind right now? Usually people might say, especially these days, Funky Town, Chechkley, the Dagestan Massacre, Ghost Rider, there's all sorts out there, Guerrero Flying, that's another one. But there's this really obvious one that I have of course never spoken about. 3 guys, 1 hammer, and the 2 Ukrainian men involved, the Dnipropetrovsk maniacs. From 2007 onwards, this would ultimately be one of the most infamous and popular Gore videos on the internet. So today, obviously, I'm going to take you guys through the transcript and the description of what happens in the video. A video which ultimately sees a man being tortured to death. Now, I have in fact seen this video multiple times. It's always on mixtapes, challenges, Gore sites, and even just pops up while I'm looking for other things. And it's quite surprising that I've never actually given myself time to read into this case and even explain the case on here before. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So we start off with a man lying on the ground with what looks like a big yellow toolbox of some sorts lying on top of him. And first of all, let's bear in mind that this video was made in 2007. So it was very unclear as to what I was looking at some of the time. The video is in fact very blurry and very grainy, so I apologise if I get some finer details wrong within this description. So these 3 men seem to be away from civilization, or rather in what looks like a forest clearing away from the general public. So the horrible parts start off pretty quickly as the box is or falls off of the man on the floor, in which his face is smashed in with a hammer. The men are both talking, in which one of the men says to the other to be neater with where he's hitting this man, as blood is splattering everywhere. After the man's received the beating from this hammer to the face, you can hear the man gargling and struggling for breath, as it's clear that the hammer hitting his face has clearly somewhat disfigured his facial features. You can hear that the blood is entering his mouth and nose as he clearly struggles for air. One of the men says to the other, "Hold on, hold on, hold on. Don't hit him. Watch him." More than likely telling the other man to watch out for the blood, as the cameraman zooms in on this man's now disfigured face. And the sounds that this man's making as they zoom in on him are absolutely horrific. All he can do instead of cry out is gargle and choke on his own blood. At this point we now notice that the man's torso is uncovered, and a screwdriver is brought out. One of the maniacs begins to stab the man in the stomach over and over again. After a bit of unclear speech, one of the men says to the other, "What? With what?" To which one of the men replies, "What? He's still alive." The cameraman's wearing black gloves and he proceeds to continue with the stabbing of this man with a screwdriver in his torso over and over again, and cutting into his skin at the same time. And you can also hear the victim moaning and groaning slightly. It's so obvious that the man just wants to scream out in pain, but the blood and the fact that his face is really disfigured is just stopping him from doing so. Now the man that's responsible for stabbing the victim in the torso says, "What? He's still alive?" In which the cameraman replies back with, "He's still alive even after I ripped up his intestines." At this point, the cameraman starts cutting into the man's face as well, cutting out little fleshy pieces from the man's now unrecognisable face. The man being filmed then proceeds to stand on the torso of the victim, in which the man who stepped on his stomach says he's having a fucked up day. More stabbing goes on in the stomach of the victim, in which the cameraman then proceeds to stab the man in the eyes. After this, the man on the other side of the camera says, "Get over here fast, kill him already." "What?" says the stabber. "Kill him already," says the man behind the camera. "I already put the hammer back, he's already dead." The cameraman says, "I already poked out his eyes. Get the knife." It's at this point the man being filmed begins to bludgeon the man on the ground until he eventually dies, in which the man holding the camera tells him to do it more and more. The pair begin walking back to their car after that, in which the man behind the camera says, "Wash your hands," and to spray cleaning chemicals on the hammer. As the two are cleaning up and putting things back in their car, the cameraman says, "I stuck the screwdriver in his brain," in which the other man replies, "I got him in the nose from the eye." The cameraman comes back with, "I don't understand how he was alive. I felt his brain. I was holding the screwdriver like this." Just before it ends, the man being filmed says, "Alright, let's get a picture." And that's the video of 3 guys and 1 hammer. So we know from the start that these two were sick individuals. But it's even sicker to know that this wasn't the only video that they filmed. Now there's another part of this video which I believe that I've come across before. Whether it be the same 2 people, I'm unsure. However, it involved what looked like a homeless man lying seemingly dead behind a big red bin. From memory, I remember that in this video the killers also stabbed this man in the torso with a screwdriver, and also stabbed him in the face, and then proceeded to cut his ear off. And that's something that I'd quite like to investigate a little bit more. It had the same quality, the same look, the same sound as the 7-minute video that you can easily come across on the internet. So yeah guys, I know that this was probably a little bit of a shorter one, and it was just really a story, I suppose, in the end. No fancy graphics, no fancy details. But as I said, it's a busy week this week, so I'm not really going to have chance to focus on editing too much, unfortunately, which is a little bit selfish, but what can you do? It's only 1 week, so I'll be back next video with a full explanation of this whole case, and yeah, hopefully a bit more detail on these 2 killers. So with that, thanks for watching guys, and if you want to, then like, subscribe, don't forget to join the Discord, we'd love to have you there. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.